I'd like to call the We're Back department and file a claim because Alabama went into Athens, got a huge win, and we had an incredible weekend of college football, and we're going to break it all down on this episode of the Pigskin Cafe.
Welcome to the Pigskin Cafe. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
They have to win this game.
There's a problem. This one's tough.
We are back.
That's what my gut's telling me.
I genuinely could not believe it.
You don't live in the great state of Texas.
All right, big boy. Hold my sweet tea.
Welcome back into the Pigskin Cafe. My name is Hampton Sipper, and usually I have my friend Graham Haney, but he was unable to join me today, so I've got an avid watcher of the Pigskin Cafe, Mr. Drew Simon, hopping on today and helping me break down what was an incredible Week 5 of college football. We're going to talk about Alabama going into Georgia and getting a huge win. Talk about Auburn struggling on the road yet again. Another anemic offensive performance by the Tigers. And we're going to touch on LSU suffering their first loss of the season at the hand of the Ole Miss Rebels, and Sam Pittman getting the boot in Arkansas and where they go from here. But before we get into all of that, few quick programming reminders. We thank each and every one of you for liking, subscribing, and supporting the show this year. We are over 320 subscribers, and we are on the road to 400. So if you haven't already, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, leave us a like, leave us a hype on this video. Hype this video up so the algorithm pushes it out for the world to see. Leave us a comment and hit that notification bell. And be sure to follow us on social media. We are thankful for each and every one of you. Thankful to the Lord above that we're able to talk about this sport that we love. And without further ado, let's get into it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be quite honest with you. The crimson color glasses are going to be on a little bit in this.
Oh, yes, sir.
We talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide going into Athens and winning 24-21. And I want to start with this, Drew, and then we're going to kind of go back and forth and we're going to break down the whole game, but we're going to give our general impressions right off. Going into this game, Georgia had won 33 straight in Athens. Going into this game, Georgia had led in 72 straight ball games. That all ended on Saturday night. Kirby Smart falls to 1-7, I believe it is now, against the Alabama
1-7.
Tide. Kalen DeBoer is now 7-1 against AP top 5 teams. And what a performance by this group. And that is what I want to start with. After the Florida State game, Graham and myself and many Alabama fans, many media members across the country left this team for dead. There was
Left them for dead, yeah.
There was anger. There was a lot of that. And I think it was justifiable considering how Alabama played on the road in Tallahassee in the first week of the year. Going into this game, I picked Georgia to win. Not because I thought Georgia had the better football team, but because Alabama, under Kalen DeBoer, but really the past 5 years have not played well on the road. Whether it be a big game against a top 5 to top 10 opponent, or even a game against an unranked SEC opponent. They had struggled. They had played with less poise. They had had a ton of penalties. But this game was different. There was a different mindset. There was a different intensity, a different competitive character, and a different discipline that you saw from this Alabama football team. This is the first time since Washington played Texas in the semifinal game in 2023 that a Kalen DeBoer coach team had less penalties, less penalty yards than the opponent. And what Alabama did in this game was something that Graham and I have criticized them over the past 2 years, but really, even under the last couple years of Saban. When they got hit, Alabama stood in the pocket and hit back. It was a 15th-round heavyweight fight, and Alabama did not flinch. That does not mean that mistakes were not made. That does not mean that there aren't things that we're going to get into on this show that need to improve. But what it means is that the mental fortitude, the mental toughness and the competitive character and drive were there in this game. And that is a testament to this staff, and that is a testament to these players who rallied together. They blocked out the outside noise, and they went in to a place that had not lost at home since 2019, and they got the W. Incredible.
I'm gonna add one thing to what you said right there about
to me, buddy.
It wasn't like last year. You got up big and you just held on for dear life. They went in, controlled the game, and it wasn't just sneak out with a win. Hey, that, like you said, that's two juggernauts went in heavyweight battle in the ring, shot for shot, punch for punch. And I know we talked about it before, about how we handle adversity or whatnot, and like when something in the game doesn't go your way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we took everything in stride and just went punch for punch. That was the most positive thing I took out of it. One of the most positive things I took out of the game because we haven't been responding well in some games, obviously on the road and big time atmospheres and stuff like that. I took that as a massive W this past weekend. Hey, some things didn't go your way throughout the game. Take it on the chin and keep responding. So hopefully we turn the corner on that. And if we have it, hey, this team could be dangerous.
I totally agree, Drew. And to me, like, obviously, as an Alabama fan, which, I tell everybody on this show that I'm an Alabama fan, but we try to keep it objective and try to keep it a buck 150 with you. But that is what impressed me, because that is what has been lacking, not only under Kalen DeBoer, but also in games under Nick Saban, which I would argue even under Kalen DeBoer. The only game to me where they really didn't respond well to adversity was Vanderbilt last year.
Yeah.
A lot of the time last year, we put a lot of the blame against Tennessee, against Oklahoma, and against Michigan. Those losses in large part were on the quarterback, which we're going to get to in a minute. I can't wait to dive into this offense. But
let's do it.
The response, man, that this team showed should have every Alabama fan enthusiastic and should have you fully back on board supporting this team. That doesn't mean every issue is fixed. That doesn't mean that Alabama is going to go win a national championship now. There's a ton of ball left to be played. We're only a third of the way through the year.
Oh, that's beautiful. Hey, lots of ball left. Oh.
Go ahead, Drew.
I said, no, that's one thing. Lots of ball left. That gets me excited. Lots of ball left to play. Lots of ball left,
brother. Absolutely.
Just get started.
With that, we kind of given our general overall impressions about how you responded in this game, how you matched the physicality, how you didn't back down when Georgia came storming back, which you knew they would, which, again, I think every Alabama fan has respect for Kirby Smart and the caliber of head coach that he is, the caliber of program that Georgia is, because they play discipline, they play the right way. Well, they play discipline until they have a flying dog in the final drive of the game, guy going in like Superman and not getting called for targeting. I don't know how that didn't
don't get called for targeting, but our boy James Smith gets called on the officiating is just all over the place.
And we'll get into that. Absolutely, we'll get into that. But let's dive more specifically into this game and into the offense. And I'm going to start with this. I said after the Wisconsin game, there's not a quarterback in the country playing better than Ty Simpson. I didn't say he was the best quarterback in the country. I just said past 2 weeks, there's nobody that has been playing better than him. He went into Athens last night like Russell Crowe in Gladiator, and he planted his sword on that field and said, I am the premier or one of the premier quarterbacks in this sport. It was an
never trailed.
Go ahead.
Never trailed. Took it to him and they never let up, dude. Dude's a warrior. He said it I'm sorry to cut you off. But even after the game, brother, we was talking about it gave you them chill bumps. That's his mindset, man. He's the leader of the team. Talking about hey, it's us against everybody. I mean, everybody. Hey, they thought they buried us, man, but they never gave up on each other. It's us against everybody. I saw a thing on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, today. They said they're walking out the tunnel.
X. Call it Twitter, yeah.
Oh, I lost you. You said what now, Hampton? Oh, okay, but I lost you there for a second. But they said walking out the tunnel, somebody hollered at Coach DeBurr said, we got, we all we need." And that's the mentality of this team, man. And I love it. I love it. And I don't want anybody other than Ty Simpson leading this squad.
100%, 100%. And to dive more specifically into Ty, I think what he did to set the tone yesterday, and it started with the speech in the tunnel. But when you give a speech like that, it means absolutely nothing if you don't go out on the field and back it up. And
Right.
to start the way that this offense did, going long, sustained drives 2 times in a row to open that ball game and get up 14-0 was absolutely massive. And I can't, man, at Georgia, in Athens, I can't tell you the last time that I've seen an opposing offense do that to a Kirby Smart defense in Georgia. I've seen it happen when Georgia's on the road. That's a little bit of a different animal. But to see it happen in Athens was just incredible. And I want to talk about Ty's play, because not only was he very accurate delivering the football, not only did he use his legs at the right time, not only did he do a great job of going through his progressions, getting back, playing on time, playing in rhythm. The biggest thing to me, well, there's 2 big things, but the number one thing, and I'm not comparing him to these 2 quarterbacks, but as good as Tom Brady was, and as good as Peyton Manning was, and as good as Drew Brees were, as good as all those guys were, how did they win? They won before the snap. They won by recognizing the defense, getting their offense in the right play, setting protections, and knowing where to go with the ball. There were multiple times throughout that game, especially on those first 2 drives, Georgia does not have an elite pass rush by any stretch of imagination. We talked about that going into the game. But Georgia was blitzing. They were bringing guys from different places. They were trying to disguise what they were doing. And what did Ty Simpson do? He made them pay, because he was going up, checking plays, setting protection, getting everybody on the same page. And that did not happen the past 2 years under another quarterback. And it just did not, and we can't hide from it. This offense is the Kalen DeBoer offense and the Ryan Grubb offense that we saw at Washington. Last year was a watered-down, diluted version that had nothing in common with those 2 offenses. And I just want to say that with Ty Simpson at quarterback, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. With Milroe as quarterback, it was a meat and 2 sides offense. You had one or two things you could go to, but you got that taken away, you were toast. You were toast. With Ty Simpson, you're able to run, because he has command of the offense and of the pre-snap operation. You can run a variety of different formations, a variety of different motions, and you can trust and put the game plan on his shoulders. And like he said at the end of the game, put the ball in my hands, I'll make a play, which was an absolutely brilliant offensive play call by Ryan Grubb.
Oh,
I couldn't be
Ryan
prouder
Grubb
of
was
that
in
kid.
his bag.
He was in his bag, and I couldn't be prouder of Ty Simpson, how he performed in that game, and how much it meant to him. How much it meant to him.
I'm with you.
Staying and doing the job. Drew, I want to kick it to you, man. I want to hear your overall impressions of Ty Simpson, but I also want to, you talked about Ryan Grubb. You hit on him. What did you think of the game plan going into Georgia and how Alabama executed it?
Well, we've talked about, first of all, Ty, I feel like I'm a proud cousin, brother, parent. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm proud. He stuck it out, especially this day and age of college football. You don't have players like that anymore. I mean, he could have jumped ship, but the dude's all tied, and it couldn't be happening to a better player in person, in my opinion. I mean, the dude has done it the right way. But and another thing on that incredible drive that going up 7-0. Dude, we've don't forget, Ryan Williams. I love Ryan Williams, but he has occasional drops. Hey, he dropped it. Ty Simpson, and no blame game, no nothing. Hey, got right back on it, and we ended up scoring. We don't let Ty Simpson. He doesn't let one mistake or you know what I'm saying, turn into multiple. That could have been a drive killer. It should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But Ty Simpson, the dude is a dog on that football field, man. But go into the going to the offensive game plan, I know the rushing game was not completely there. We struggled in the running part, but I will say I like the fact Ryan Grubb didn't just completely abandon the running game
Mm-hmm.
because I know if you look at the stat line, it did not blow up on the stat line, but it made the game like third and manageable. We wasn't third and long, you know what I'm saying? And so they had to respect the run, and it made the games third and manageable, and that's why it was what 13 for 19 on third down. It's because we were in third and short situations. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't stuck behind the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, I think he had a great game plan, and the dude dialed up some great play. He iced the game with that to Jam Miller right there. And if you go back and look, Ty Simpson had several wide open receivers, but all we needed was a first down and let's take a knee. So just take the easy dump off pass to Jam there. But Ryan Grubb was in his bag on the play calling. And I just want to point out the fact, if you look at the stat line, the rushing yards was not there, but hey, he did not go away from the running game, and I believe that helped set up Ty with the third and manageable situations. And that's it to me. I may get ahead of myself here, but Georgia 2-8 in third down, Bama 13 for 19. That's the game. That's the game, dude. I mean, so I mean, dude, if Ryan Grubb can put them game plans together week after week, dude, I think that's what we were excited for all off season. And man, I'm excited the rest of the way. I have to, before I kick it back to you, a favorite player of the game. Hey, so get Kate Proctor some love, baby.
Bro,
Split them
telling
out
you, man.
wide, give him some love.
Yeah, I wish he had
But
got in on
yes, sir.
that. Was
Oh, he wanted
really
it
good.
bad. He wanted it bad. Hey, he showed a little athleticism with a little dive at the end, man.
Sure
Hey,
did.
the dude, yeah, yes, sir. But just putting a little tape out there, man.
Uh-huh.
But
Well,
yeah, I'll kick it back to you on that, brother.
okay, man. Well, great analysis by you. When you mentioned third down, I was going to bring that up. You said 13 and 19 on third down.
Yeah,
The 13 third downs Alabama converted are the most that Georgia has allowed in any game in the last 30 seasons. And I think
wow.
that stat just also mirrors and shows what a stark difference in the offense from this year to the last 2 years. Alabama, and we said it on the show multiple times, that Alabama the past 2 years was a boom or bust offense. There was no
That's
efficiency.
exactly it.
There were no long sustained drives where you were moving the chains, staying ahead of the chains, like you said, staying in third and manageable. There was none of that. And when you got in third down, you might as well just sit the punt unit out there. Because
Right.
that's how bad Alabama was in those situations like the last 2 years. But Ty Simpson, again, a lot of it is pre-snap recognition, film study, and knowing where to go with the ball. That is the difference in those conversions. And you mentioned the Ryan Williams drop, which I'm gonna be honest, everybody. When that happened, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I had a shriek of just pure horror because I mean
Dude,
that was what you wanted to set the tone and make something
get that.
happen and hit him with a big play. But what did Alabama do? We talked about overcoming adversity. Like you mentioned, he dropped that. They kept on going. They kept on churning. They had another penalty on the drive.
Unfazed.
They ended up in the
Yeah, they were unfazed with it. Yeah. And still, dude, I'm telling you, he dropped that pass, and I was watching it with my brother and my cousins here. We get together and watch it. Hey, shout out to Keenan and Aaron. I mean, we what we call crash out, dude. Because games like that, if you don't take advantage, like when you have a big play, if you don't take advantage of them kind of plays, dude, that's what wins and loses those kind of plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like if you could break it down, dude, you could break down a handful of games in a game like that, and a play here and a play there, dude, is the deciding factor. So if you don't take advantage of like if getting behind the defense and take it getting behind the defense and making the defense pay for the mistakes, and dude, that's the deciding factor. So when he didn't capitalize on that catch and touchdown, dude, yeah, like you said, it was a crash out session there for a second. But hey, this team with Ty Simpson was unfazed, and they absolutely just let's go score. Let's go do it. Let's go get it done. And I want to add one more thing on that.
Yeah.
about the offense, dude, going into that, by hyping it up, Sanford Stadium, between the hedges, 6 o'clock kickoff, night game, hasn't lost. I mean, the atmosphere was nuts, dude. 4 for 16, 4 penalties for 16 yards. The communication, dude, that's impressive, man. I
Very.
mean, like you said, the discipline, dude. I'm telling you, this team is I mean, that's tough to go in that kind of atmosphere. For 4 penalties for 16 yards. I mean, the team was locked in, man.
Yeah.
Team was
And
locked in.
to that point, only one pre-snap penalty, and that came late in
Yeah,
the fourth
that's
quarter, and it
impressive.
was crucial. But again, if you were dropped on planet Earth and you didn't know that Nick Saban had retired, that looked from a discipline perspective when it comes to penalties, that looked like a prime Nick Saban coach team, which I think is
I'm
really
serious.
impressive because that is something that this team has struggled with. I know we talked about Ty a lot, and I think he deserves all the credit. He is now one of the favorites in the Heisman race, which is unbelievable, and I think really, really cool considering what coming into the year, what the expectations were for him. Which Drew, that I was really high on him. I've been high on him for 2 years, and to see the type of success that he is having is just really, really cool and really gratifying. Not only for him, but for me as someone who's believed in him and
Yeah.
gotten
Hey,
ridiculed
same, dude.
at times for believing in him. But I want to focus on some other guys that I thought played really well on the offensive side of the ball. I thought the offensive line, especially in pass protection, was really, really good. I think
Yeah.
Geno Vandermark was the only offensive lineman. Him and maybe Wilkin Formby, they allowed like one pressure each, which you're throwing it 38 times. I mean, that's really, 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 really good against the defense like Georgia has. I thought they played well. Parker Brailsford continues to be the best center in the
Hey,
country.
best center in college
He,
football.
he's the best offensive lineman on this team. And I mean, I went back and rewatched the game last night, everyone, because I'm a sicko. I couldn't go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was too hyped up. And there was a clip that I sent you that Cole Kubelik had, but there was a screen early in the first quarter where Parker goes and sends number 9, I believe it's Dalen Everett from Georgia, into the shadow realm, man. Like, he absolutely obliterated him. Thought he played well. I honestly thought it was the best game I've seen Caden Proctor play.
I agree.
He played really, really well, and I'm proud of him for bouncing back and continuing to get better, continuing to kind of shake off that Florida State performance. I thought he was really good. And overall, that unit, even though they rotated a bunch of guys with William Sanders coming in at left guard, Wilkin Formby playing both right tackle and right guard,
And
Michael Carroll
guard,
coming in
yeah.
and playing right tackle, Jaden Roberts coming in right guard, they really didn't skip a beat. Now, there were times, definitely, that they could have been better in the run game and getting better push. But Georgia's got a really elite run D. And so what I love, to your point earlier about Grubb staying committed to the run, unlike he did versus FSU, it came in handy on that final drive because a guy who came back, who did not have a huge stat line, but played a pivotal role in this game, talking to you, Chase Haney and Andy Nee, Jam Miller, man. Jam is
Damn,
not the
baby.
most elite back in the world, but he came back and he provided elite pass protection. And on the final drive of the game, his first down runs on the 2 series of downs that they had, one for 7 yards and one for 6 yards, that was the difference in the game. And especially that first down, or the first down where he got 7 yards, he ran through 2 or 3 tackles. I mean, that's just hard physical running. And I thought it was really interesting that both him and Kevin Riley were the only running backs to get snaps. Richard Young, Daniel Hill, and Dre Washington did not play, but I thought that Jam was pivotal in this game coming back. What do you make of that, Drew?
No. I completely agree. I was so excited for Jam. I was a huge Jam fan coming into the season, really, because I don't think he really got enough love last year, him or Justice Haynes. I don't think we got him enough touches throughout the game, but I won't hit on that. But so I think if you commit to Jam Miller and give him touches, I think the dude's a stud of a running back, and then he's already shown you multiple years out of the backfield. The dude can catch it, yards after catch. I mean, the dude's just a good back all around. But yeah, I was excited that we stuck to that there, and then I'm with you. Like you got two. I like Kevin Riley. I'm really high on Jam, like I said, and I love Kevin Riley. He's really surprised me this season. But if you have two, you got four backs that can tote it. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know Daniel Hill may not be as good as Richard Young and this and that, but you got three really good backs that can tote that rock.
Yeah.
Richard Young, I'm telling you, man. I don't know why we didn't sprinkle him in there too, because he's a load to take down. I mean, so that surprised me there too. But yeah, what you think about that? Why would you think that Richard Young didn't get any touches there?
Well, honestly,
Pass
Drew,
pro maybe.
honestly, Drew, I think him and Daniel Hill have been really disappointing this year, especially Daniel Hill. I think Richard Young's been okay, but there's a reason that Kevin Riley was the fourth or fifth string running back in camp, and he went all the way to first string against Louisiana Monroe. Richard Young and Daniel Hill were not hitting the hole. There were yards to be had that they just did not earn, either due to not seeing it well with their vision, not being quick enough through the hole. There are a litany of reasons as to why they have not been as effective as Kevin Riley and even Jam Miller in this game. But I didn't mind that. Richard Young, I get he's a big body. I wouldn't have minded seeing him. Daniel Hill just has been very disappointing. I'm trying to be nice. I just don't.
I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. If anybody should have got a mix in there, Richard Young would be my choice, which I'm fine. I mean, Kevin Riley and Jam Miller, let's roll with them. But I was surprised not seeing Richard Young on some short down yardage type deal, just because he's a load to take down. But I agree with you on Daniel Hill, as nice as we could put it. I just don't think he's a back at Alabama. I mean, I just don't.
I'm with you, man. I don't ever see him being like a meaningful every back for the Crimson Tide. And again, players can develop. He can get better. I'm just saying, in limited game action, I've not been very impressed with what I've seen.
Exactly.
Whereas Kevin Riley, it isn't always pretty with him, but like I think he runs really hard. He's got some shiftiness and elusiveness to him. And I think with Jam Miller, yeah, he ran hard on those final few drives. I think he's only going to get better. I think there was a little bit of rust that he needs to.
Oh yeah,
off.
You have to think. Yeah,
And I do think that was kind of part of why. There were times where he just kind of looked hesitant and not. But I mean, he hadn't played live contact football in about a month. And then then your welcome back party is against one of the best run defenses in the country. I mean, Kirby. They have problems on that back end, which I think you saw Alabama exploit time and time again on Saturday night. But their run defense is really, really good again, and that's just a hallmark of a Kirby Smart defense. So I want to talk about the receivers really quickly, and then one more note on Ryan Grubb. Get your thoughts on that, Drew, and then we'll transition to defense. But
okay,
we talked about Ryan Williams, and I give credit to Ryan for coming back later in the game and making a tough catch on a third down.
It makes a tough catch, yeah.
Which is something that, even though Alabama, because I know there's a big consternation that Alabama didn't score in the second half. And you're right, they did not. They shouldn't have. They should have had 3 points, but Connor Talty,
Lord have mercy, we got to figure that out, man.
He made Andy Papanasis' kick in the 2017 National Championship game look good. It was that bad. But they moved the ball effectively in the second half. The first drive they went down, they missed the field goal. Second drive they got stopped on that 4th and 1. Then they went 3 and out. They're only 3 and out of the game. Then they got the ball back again deep in Georgia territory. They changed field position, went down the field.
Yeah, that's
should have had
big,
a pass interference that wasn't called. So they did some good things offensively in the second half. The execution just was a hair off here or there. There was a penalty, that false start penalty that I talked about that really hurt them at that time in the second half. But I thought they moved the ball still very effectively in the second half. Just didn't finish drives with the same level of success.
And dude, you got to think you're going against Kirby Smart. I mean, the dude when he gets to halftime, the man makes adjustments.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's the best halftime coach, second half adjustment coach, dude, in all of college football.
Yeah.
I mean, you look last week, Tennessee had him down 21-0. Hey, you get to halftime, regroup, and the man comes out. If you go back to last year, I mean, 28-0. Hey, you get to halftime, the dude makes adjustments. So I'm not really like you said, we should have had 3, and then you did some good stuff. Got the they can't score if they don't have the ball. So I mean, we're driving the field, eating clock, getting first downs. I mean, I'm not really too worried about not scoring. I mean, you got to realize who's across the sideline. I mean, they got players too. They got a coaching staff too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I agree though. I mean, you got to take wins when you get them. I mean, so
well, and that's
but
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
I was saying, and that's a great point. And I think, as fans, we only look at our team. Well, we miss here, we miss there. You got to give credit to Georgia. I mean, Georgia, again.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing the juggernaut.
They get paid just like our guys get paid. Kirby's won 2 natties. They have the type of competitive character and will to stay in that game and trade body blows with you. And so just sometimes you got to give credit to them for making a play. But in the first half especially, Ryan Grubb had Kirby and Glenn Schumann all out of whack with just
torture chamber. I mean, torture chamber.
The torture chamber, man. Like the play designs, the mix of like misdirection, screens, different types of concepts in the passing game, throwing it deep, throwing bubble screens, using Jeremy as another runner, as kind of an extension of the run game, really hammering the edges. Like, I love all the different looks that they gave Georgia because that's different things that they have to account for, and you kind of keep them off balance where they can't key in on one single thing. Speaking of Jeremy, I think, man, Jeremy Bernard's just a dang good player. He is just...
Dude, he's played himself into a first-round pick, man.
No doubt about it, dude. I am a big fan of Jeremy Bernard. He does it the right way. He's a physical football player. And I think that him, Lopsir Brooks, who I think Alabama, as the season goes along, you got to give that guy the ball more and more. He's electric with it in his hands. And he's a tough son of a gun, man. That catch that he made over the middle in the first quarter was absolutely outstanding because he caught it with his hands, got popped twice, popped right back up, man.
He knew he was about to get hit, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, I like Ryan Williams. The dude's a heck of a player, but that's what it seems like. He's afraid. He sort of alligator arms it because he don't want to get hit across the middle is what it seems like. I know that deep shot, it really wasn't trying to get – I mean, there wasn't nobody to hit him, but I think it's just in his head. Sierra Brooks went across the middle, and he was going to catch it or die. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude – yeah, the dude's fearless on the field. You have got to reward that with more playing time and touches for Sierra Brooks.
100%. And I think I'll just say it. I do think Ryan is a little bit leery of contact because not only was it, there are times when he's going over the middle where you can tell he isn't quite comfortable, but Kirk Herbstreit was filleting him on the broadcast.
Yes.
Which I have rarely seen. Kirk Herbstreit is a very nice guy. I have rarely seen him do that. But after that drop, there are 2 different occasions where he has a chance to get a chip block and stick his shoulder in there on safety. He lays him. Then there's a straight to Jeremy Bernard where, he's supposed to be blocking, and Jeremy just makes a great play and makes the guy miss.
Jeremy just made him miss.
He lays him, and then there's some times on routes, instead of like trying to set the guy up and then put your foot in the ground and kind of go left or right and kind of win that way, he's like doing this like weird little like stop motion thing. And when you do that, you're affecting the timing of the route, especially as a quarterback when you're expecting your guy to be in a particular spot.
Yes,
that
sir.
throws off the timing. And I think that is happening probably more than we even know. And there was one time in particular, I think it was on the final drive of the game, Jeremy Bernard and Coach Shepard were getting on him, because he didn't line up in the right place. He didn't know where to go in a critical moment. And again, I'm not killing the kid because, again, he did come back and he made a tough catch. But he's got to be better. He's got to elevate his game in those situations. And one last note, and then I'll kick it to you, and then we got to get to the defense because we have spent a ton of time on the offense. But Isaiah Horton was huge in this game, man. I thought he did a great job on that second touchdown, which, again, another stellar throw by Ty Simpson, where his primary was gone. He looks back, sets his feet, delivers a strike, and Isaiah Horton kind of felt where the coverage was going, found a soft spot, kind of behind the defense, makes a play, caught the ball over the middle really well. I noticed him blocking his tail off downfield in the screen game, and also when, in yards after catch opportunities. I thought he played probably his best game of the year. Was really impressed with him. Overall, this offense gets probably like a B to B plus for me. I think they could have ran the ball better. That is something that is going to continue to have to improve as the season goes along. And I'll leave you with this on the offense and then kick it to you, Drew. The rest of the country better hope and pray that Alabama doesn't learn how to run the ball. Because when
that's exactly right.
When they can really lean on it, and then you have we already had the threat of play action now, and Ty is really effective off that. But you give a true complementary running game to go along with that, man.
I don't know how you defend
this offense.
Yeah, I don't know how you defend it. I'll hit on Zay Horton and Ryan Williams just really quick there. I think on Ryan Williams, the dude, like everybody's seen it. He's a heck of an athlete, a heck of a playmaker when the ball's in his hand. I think it just comes down to the little things with Ryan Williams. It's like, I mean, obviously it's not no groundbreaking information, but back in high school. Yeah, dude, it's like back in high school, he could get away with stuff. But then you got to do the little details. I mean, now you're on the stage, dude. The person guarding you is just as good as you. You know what I mean? He's just as fast. He's just as athletic. So you have to you have to do the simple things. You know what I'm saying? It's just the little details I think he misses out on. But really quick, and we'll move over to the defense. But Isaiah Horton, I said this, I think it was either ULM or Wisconsin. One of those two games, he caught a pass over the end zone. It probably had to be Wisconsin, and he just grown manned him, dude. That dude has some of the strongest hands I have seen, honestly. And the dude is that sucker right there has some strong hands, and I think he's going to end up playing a big role. And I just don't know how you could defend him. If you want to bracket Ryan Williams, you got to respect Jeremy Bernard. Then you got Latsier Brooks that's just Jalen Waddle clone in the slot, and then you got a big body Isaiah Horton. It's insane. You cannot guard them all. So I mean, that's exciting there. I'm with you. They find a running game, that's gonna be dangerous, dude. But we can go to the defense. We just spent 40 minutes on offense. We can get to the defense.
And you know what? I don't care because that was a riveting conversation. And man, this offense deserves all the praise in the world.
Yes, sir.
One last note on Horton. His hands have been unbelievable, and you can tell that him and Ty have a really good chemistry and synergy with one another. And again, I think he should have caught it, but even on the throw he dropped, that was a beautiful ball by Ty Simpson to layer it over the second level defender, put it where only your guy can get it. Yes, it was a drop, but man, that was another effective throw. And I think, Alabama, it doesn't get easier from here, but
no,
Ty Simpson coming into the year was unproven, but he's playing better than Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Arch Manning, DJ Lagway. I can go on and on about all these guys that were hyped coming into the year, and this kid in Tuscaloosa is playing better than all of them. And not only with his playmaking, as far as the tangible things that you see, but his complete command of the offense. And that, to me, and his poise in the midst of an intimidating environment, that is what stood out to me. I couldn't be prouder of the kid, and I can't wait to watch how this offense continues to unfold and evolve as the season goes on. Now, let's flip the page to the defense.
Let's do it.
Because I will say this. After the game, I had a little different perception about the defense than I did after I rewatched. I'll just say
I'm about
that.
to say, I was gonna say, Hampton, you may disagree with me
Okay,
on the defense.
let's
I'll be
go.
honest with you. You may disagree with me.
Let's go. What? Give
If you,
me your
oh,
impressions of the defense, and then I'll give you mine.
well, for me, dude, I love the 2011, the 2016 defense. I mean, you holding people shutouts and 6 points and don't cross the 50. I mean, like, but I just don't. That don't exist anymore. I mean, as bad as I wish we could hold them to 0 every week, I just don't. I think more. You gotta, which I hate saying it, but like, because I don't want to the dumb down the expectations of Alabama football. But dude, now like I think if you as a defense, if you can bend but don't break and hold teams to field goals, dude, you're putting yourself in position at the end of the game to win ball games. If they're not putting the ball in the end zone, especially with Ryan Grubb and Ty Simpson and this offense that's continuing to improve, dude, if you're holding teams to field goals, you're in a good position.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think if you can, and I know the rushing yards was crazy, but again, if you're keeping them out the end zone, you're doing a good job. And everybody, me and we talked about it this morning. Me, Keenan, Aaron, Keenan's brother and stuff. They was talking about Kane Womack, and I think as a fan, you just want such perfection, and you just want this high standard. But if you think about it, Glenn Schumann, one of the best DCs in the game, and they talk about shut out the second half. Man, Kane Womack, dude, we held him to 7 points in the second half. And this is not a bad offensive team for Georgia. You look at,
They
they
put
went
up
into Neyland
44
Stadium.
on Tennessee. Yeah.
Dude, they went into Neyland Stadium and their defense was getting points. So Gunnar Stockton and that offense had to do an absolute shootout to win that ball game on the road. So you're not playing a bad offense. You held them to what was it? 21 points and 7 points in the second half. I mean, dude, that to me, you may disagree, but I think the defense played a heck of a part us winning the game. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. People may disagree with me on that, and you may not be a Kane Womack fan. They ran it down our throats, but man, you hold them to 21 points and you shut them to 7 points in the second half. I mean, you got to tip your hat to the defense. Made key plays. Bray Hubbard, hey, the dude heard the disrespect and the sucker responded, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I say tip your hat to the defense, man. I mean, they made the plays when they needed to be made, and again, 2 for 8 on third downs. You make it to third down, and they got off the field,
Yep.
man. It's not no Pete Golden third down. You can pretty much, yeah, Pete Golden, DC, you could pretty much bank on it. Here's a first down.
Third
So, I
and
mean, they
golden.
got to third down. Third and golden, baby. But they got to third down and they got off the field, man. It wasn't perfect, but hey, you got to win, and you made plays when they needed to be made. So that's my take on the defense. I mean, there's obviously room for improvement, but and I would like to see some more pressure on the quarterback. But I mean, again, man, I just you don't have these Jonathan Allens or these Reuben Fosters. I mean, college football, the talent spread out, man. I mean, and then you don't have depth like your third man's a 5-star. So I mean, I just don't think you're going to see these shutouts and these 2016 type defenses for Bama anymore across the country. But I mean, if you can keep them out the end zone, man, you're doing a job. You're doing your job. So I kick it to you on that. But man,
I got a
that's all
question
I
for
got.
you. So
Go ahead,
I'm
brother.
gonna give my take on the defense. Do you want the good first, or you want the bad first?
Hey, let's lead with the let's end on the good. Let's end on the
You want the
good.
good. Okay. So we'll start with the bad. 230 yards rushing is not good. Not good
That's
at all.
not good. I agree with you.
But I want to put
No
it in
matter how I try to spin it, that's no
it's
good.
no good. I want to put it in its proper context though. Because I think Georgia is a really, really effective football team running the ball. Very effective. I mean, that Chauncey Bowers, I believe, number
Chauncey
33,
Bowers.
that is a load to bring down at running back. They got a really big offensive line. They went heavy personnel a ton and tried to just play smash mouth football, really, and tried to get Alabama to match their physicality. And there were times where they broke off long runs. I believe they had 4 runs that went for like 113, and then they had their 26 other runs went for like 96. And one of those runs was a reverse that they did with Dylan Bell where they
Yeah.
faked it to Zachariah Branch, and he went like 40 or 50 downfield because Keon Sapp got out of place. To me, the issue with the run defense, schematically, I know a lot of people have problems with Kane Womack's scheme, and I get it to an extent. Because I know a lot of people have been, moaning and whining about the 3-down lineman look that Alabama continues to employ. Well, guess what, everyone? Georgia ran 3-down linemen against us a lot throughout that game. They ran 3-down linemen with a jack standing up, which is kind of what we did, but instead of a jack, it's a wolf in our system. And so they kind of ran a similar front. And then when Alabama went condensed or went heavy, they would match personnel. Well, guess what? For most of the game, I went back and looked, and it surprised me, but Alabama did that as well. When Georgia went condensed formation or they went heavy personnel, Alabama matched it. They had 3-down linemen. They had the regular Husky that was on the field, and then they put another Husky on the field. Or not Husky, Wolf. Husky is a star position where Deshaun Jones plays. But they did that to try to match personnel, and I honestly thought that in those situations, they did a really effective job at stopping the run. Where they got in trouble, in my opinion, was when they got to the outside because either the edge guy, a guy like Yanze Pierre, who was a really effective pass rusher, but he's not a great run defender, he got washed out and didn't set a hard edge for much of that game. But not only that, I think you really got punished because Georgia has 2 or 3 good blocking tight ends in Oscar Delp and Lawson Lucky. And our corners, especially Damani Jackson.
Damani Jackson. Yeah, I could have finished your sentence there. He does not want to put his head in there on a run on a run help, man. He does not.
No.
He's a fantastic cover corner, but when it comes to the running game, he is not trying to get his nose in there and help out in the running game. I mean, I like Damani Jackson in covers, but man, if he don't want to come up in the running game, put Dijon Lee in the game.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm serious, man. I mean, because that's why a lot of them runs popped.
100.
Sorry,
No,
Phantom. Sorry.
no, you're good, baby. You fired up. I love it.
Yeah, I'm serious.
But no, that's a great point by you because I want to get to that. You mentioned Dijon Lee. I will get to that in a minute. But I felt a lot of their runs were just practically because Damani Jackson on a couple of them just completely lost contain. He didn't keep outside, let the guy get around him and get up the sideline. And the thing is, those are fixable issues. And I think what happened was Georgia saw on tape that especially him, not so much Zabian Brown, because I do think Zabian is much more physical than Damani.
I agree.
That they could kind of pick on that, and they exploited it and kind of kept going back to the well on it. And I think that's how they popped off a lot of their runs. The other issue that I saw upon rewatch was that they popped one run in particular when they had the second or third string D-line in with like Faga and Jordan Renaud, and Tim Keenan wasn't in the game, James Smith wasn't in the game, and they popped a run. But more than anything, the issue is not when the D-line, even though the D-line did get kind of washed out on that play, Kane Womack has got to stop doing the double mug the way that Alabama is doing double mug right now, because these linebackers can't play downhill when you're double mugging that the way that you are, because I don't mind if you double mug and just go straight up field and you feel the gap and you have sound gap integrity and your assignment and you're fitting the run well. What they're doing is they're going up at the snap, they go back, then kind of go side to side to see where the ball's going. Well, by the time they did that on the run I'm talking about, the running back was already by him. That you're giving them no chance, and what they played much more effectively against the run when they're just in a regular linebacker stance. They're able to
reading and reacting.
Yeah, they're able to survey the front, fill the gap, make a play. That needs to be. Sometimes, it's all about keeping it simple, stupid. And I think sometimes Kane Womack is being a little too cute and not letting these guys just go out and hunt. Because when they play just sound fundamental football, they did all right. Just like the first touchdown they gave up. Why in God's name on first down are you running a cover zero blitz? Why are you doing that? And you leave Damani on an island and he bites on the slant and go, and it's an easy touchdown for him. And credit to what I loved talking about Kalen DeBoer and kind of the switch in intensity and height and focus from him. He went over to Kane Wommack and was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing, bro?" And Kane
I
Wommack
like
took
it,
accountability for it, which I really liked. But I feel like those issues are correctable.
Oh yeah,
they're very correctable because I think it's more of a play calling thing and not putting your guys in a position to succeed. And you talked about Damani Jackson and maybe put Dijon Lee in it. Let's flip it over to the positive because Dijon Lee came in the game and played some physical butt football on that boundary.
That's a positive note there. I tell you somewhere else. When Justin Hill, young cat, when he got in the game too, hey, that man can ball, dude. And with Quay Russaw being injured, I had a surgery on his foot. I hate that they say he won't be back unless a postseason run. But dude, I mean, I hate to. I like Quay Russaw, but it's next man up. Hey, and I'm not mad. Justin Hill, dude. That man, that's a positive note right there too. Justin Hill, it may not be a lot of drop off there, dude.
I'm glad you mentioned him because upon rewatch, I thought he was super impressive. Now,
yes,
again, there's some things he's going to have to learn. He's a freshman. He's going to make mistakes. But as far as setting an edge, specifically on the drive where Alabama got the crucial 4th-and-1 stop, which was a heck of a play by a dog on the defense, OT Overton. But on the second down play,
baby.
On the second down play, which again, where Alabama matched personnel and they had 2 Wolves out there, Justin Hill set the edge, created disruption, got in the backfield, and allowed for somebody else to make a play. And I thought he did a much more effective job of that than a guy like Jan St. Pierre. So
yeah,
I think he's going to really contribute. I thought, to your Dijon Lee point, again, he came in the game. I thought he played with a heightened level of physicality, especially in run support. Shoot, that final tackle that he made, and then coming up, Red Morgan coming up and laying the boom, Drake Kirkpatrick getting in on the final drive of the game. They blitzed him twice. Yes. He effected a pass and then got the ball or like hurried Gunnar Stockton's internal clock and got him to get the ball out quick. Where Dijon Lee made that play, I thought he and his limited opportunity played really well. I thought Tim Keenan, his presence was felt. Probably not all the way back to 100%, but it was good to have him out there. LT Overton, like I said, played well. Bray Hubbard was the best player on the field on defense last night, all over it. The hit that he made on Nate Frazier to get that ball out was just absolutely incredible. And he's kind of being used as a chess piece all over the field. I think the defense, there are things that need to be corrected. There's no doubt about that. You got to shore up the run defense. You got to shore up the assignment, the gap integrity, and the gap responsibility, and fit in the run properly. No doubt about it. But when they needed stops, they got stops. No stop more important than that one on 4th down, which was, again, an incredible effort by LT Overton. So overall, I feel encouraged about the resolve of the defense. The execution and physicality by certain players, though, has to improve, especially with a team like Vandy coming to town.
That's right. And one, this is my final thought right here. Yeah. Hey, this ain't even about the defense. It's about. I've seen a lot of people disagree with that 4th-and-1. Don't kick the field goal and go for it, dude. In my opinion, if I was, and I know it's easier because I'm an opposing fan and it's not my team. Hey, dude, if we were in that situation, dude, I love that call. 4th-and-1, bet on your guys, man. Mm-hmm. Bet on your guys. Hey, we're gonna get a yard. You know what I'm saying? So I like that call by Kirby, which again, it was beneficial for my squad. But I mean, dude, if the roles were reversed, I would hope Kalen DeBoer said, I'm gonna bet my guys get a first down because if they score right there, they don't tie. If they kick a field, they tie it, and we can march down and win it. Hey, dude, right there. I mean, if he goes for it, that's a going up, I mean, you pretty much. I'm not gonna say we couldn't have won, but I mean, you pretty much. That's a dagger, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like that. Hey, that's a ballsy coach there. I mean, so I agree with that 4th and
Yeah.
1 go for it, especially that 3rd down. You got positive yardage.
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with who they handed the ball off to, but
Yes. That is
yes, that was questionable.
Yeah. That was and I totally agree with you. I have no problem with him going for it. I like trying to win the game. I like trusting your offense to get the job done, especially with how effectively they had been running the football.
On the ground, yeah.
But why you put Cash Jones in there and not the Chauncey kid or Enterprise alum Josh McCray, who got him a touchdown last night? I don't know why
Dude
you
is
don't
a
hit one
load.
of those guys.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But I wanted to sneak that in there because I think it's easy to go back and be like, kick the field goal. But no, I agree with the go for it there. But
yeah, to me, in a situation like that, you have to judge the process. You can't always judge the results. I think it was a good process to go for it. I just didn't like the personnel that you chose to employ to try to effectively end the game there. But overall,
And then
Drew,
if you go back and look at it, the whole entire like they had it. Even people was talking about why I think I can't remember who said it, but they were like, "That's not their style of play. Why would you rush it and do hurry up?" But dude, them doing hurry up, they had us out of position. The whole entire right side of the field was wide open. We made a heck of a play. So I think it. The only thing I disagree with is who they handed the ball off to. Other than that, I like the hurry up, catch them out of position, and then the call in itself to go for it.
Mhm.
The only thing I disagree with is who. But hey, it worked out in our favor. So and players make plays, man. LT Overton's a player; he made a play. So I mean, but that's all I got on that, brother.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And to kind of put a bow on this, as my good friend Chase Henney would always say, just an incredible win by Alabama. Incredible to go on the road in that environment, to snap that streak, to snap yet another Georgia winning streak. I think this 2nd or 3rd that they have broken in the past 5 or 6 years. Just incredible resolve by this football team. Incredible performance. You got to give all the credit to Georgia as well. They played a heck of a game. They fought back. I thought Gunnar Stockton obviously did not play as well as he did against Tennessee, but they didn't ask him to really throw the ball as much because I think Alabama, they knew that with their secondary, especially with some of the zone that they were kind of throwing at Gunnar, that they weren't going to be as effective. But he threw a beauty of a ball for a touchdown, and the guy dropped it. Taylor, the freshman, that was a huge play in the game. And overall, Georgia's got a lot of weapons. Zachariah Branch really didn't hurt Alabama last night, which was a good job by the defensive staff.
Man, it's scary when he gets the ball in his hands.
It is, yeah, he's electric. But overall, man, as an Alabama fan, I just could not be more proud of that group for getting up off the mat, wiping yourself off, bonding together, and going to get the job done. But guess what, guys? Enjoyed the win against Georgia, but now you got a big test coming into town with Vandy. That it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. So I can't wait to see how they respond against them and to talk about it next week on the Pigskin Cafe. And I do want to shout out my good buddy Graham, not Graham Haney, who we love and we miss dearly today, but Graham, who sent me a photo on Friday afternoon with him and his son Tommy watching the Pigskin Cafe preview Alabama, Georgia. That just warmed my heart and kind of made my week, and we appreciate you, brother. It's always great talking a little Alabama football with you. But let's turn the page and briefly, because we have been going on about an hour. Drew.
Okay, hey, real brief here. Real brief
what
here.
we got?
Oh, no. You got it. Talking about the next 2 games. Well, we can't go an hour on these, so these touch them real brief here.
Yeah, we're going to touch them real brief, brother. Auburn goes to Texas A&M and put up another offensive clunker. They don't convert a 3rd down. They have like 170 yards of total offense. And to me, the biggest stat in the game, Jackson Arnold threw 33 times and averaged 3.8 yards per attempt. Their running backs only had 8 carries, and they were averaging like 5 yards per carry.
It is tough. That is tough.
That is coaching malpractice 1. And I love Hugh Freeze calling or coming out of the game and said that is unacceptable. I'm like, well, brother, you have all the control in the world.
You're in
changing
control
that.
of it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And I'll just say this. I'm going to hit it from the Auburn angle and then hit it from the A&M angle really quickly. Auburn's defense played valiantly. I don't think
that's a good. They got a good defense.
I won't even. I'll be honest, Drew. I know this might come. They only gave up 16 points, but A&M dominated that game. They had 470 yards of total offense or whatever. They were pretty. They were balanced. They rushed for 207. They threw for 207. They moved the ball pretty effectively on them all game. They just, when they would get in the red area, there were talk about another sloppy game. A&M had a ton of penalties that really set them back. And Auburn's defense did come up big in moments, but I thought really A&M kind of took it to them, especially running the ball with Le'Veon Moss. But offensively for Auburn, it's just a mess right now. They aren't committed to the run because the passing game is Hugh Freeze's Green Goblin mask. He can't turn it down, man. That is like his addiction is throwing the ball, even though the strength of that team should be rushing the football. And what's crazy is that A&M had given up a copious amount of yardage on the ground throughout the year, and they still, that wasn't the game plan going in. Like, I don't understand that. You don't have Drew Brees as your quarterback. You have Jackson Arnold as your quarterback, who is a less athletic Jalen Milroe. I'll say it again, because if you take away his legs and you take away his first read, he freezes, no pun intended, and they got weapons outside that are not being utilized because he can't effectively deliver them the football because he is not a good passer of the football, but honestly, he is not good at deciphering what the defense is showing him and going through his reads and going effectively, and then their offensive line is just really a disaster in pass pro. But again, that goes back to the head ball coach and how you call your offense because you got to know what your personnel is suited for. So
you got Brent Kidd, man.
Huh?
Yeah, Brent Kidd. Hey, if you ain't got a quarterback, hey, Haynes King, man, his body may not hold up in next year, but hey, he wins with the personnel he has.
Yes.
I mean, he don't try to force it. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Going back to last week with the Oklahoma game, everybody talks about the refs. They did blow a couple calls for Auburn, this and that. But when your offensive line gives up 10 sacks in a single football game, it's kind of hard for me to blame the refs. But I agree. I mean, I don't think he fully trusts. I don't know. I mean, he tries to force the passing game, but then again, he don't fully trust Jackson Arnold. So, dude, their offense, it's atrocious. I mean, it's awful to watch, man. But if you're an Auburn fan, it's bad to watch.
Well, and like even on the final fourth down, like I don't even know what the play call was. Like, why not just run the ball and get the first down? You go like a drop back pass and you have a jailbreak on the offensive line. You don't have really anything hot for Jackson Arnold to throw to, and he freezes yet again. It's just bad all the way around. And I will say this: they have a bye week and then they play Georgia. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, but their offense better look significantly better than it has the past 2 weeks, or the rumblings for Hugh Freeze's job are going to grow louder.
Because they're already there. They're already there.
There's talent on that football team, especially offensively, for them to be that anemic. I mean,
if Cam Coleman wants to come to Tuscaloosa, hey, we will welcome him with open arms.
I mean, Jeremy's leaving after this year. There's going to be an opening. I mean,
I'm
him and Eric Singleton are being wasted on that football team right now.
Dude, always bad. I hate it for them because the Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton, dude, they are studs, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, he cannot give to them. They cannot give them the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's awful.
And before we get off this game and go to Ole Miss and LSU, I thought Marcel Reed played a pretty good game. He missed a couple deep balls that they had opportunities to convert. I don't know why on this earth it's 3rd and 1, you've been running it effectively, and you throw a bubble that gets almost like you almost throw a pick six. I mean, it practically was because Auburn scored the very next play. But if that hadn't happened, I mean, this game wasn't that close. The score doesn't indicate how much A&M dominated this game. And to me, if I'm an Auburn fan, that concerns me more than anything.
I agree.
And I'm very anxious to see kind of where this goes and if Hugh maybe during the bye week makes a quarterback change. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened because it is evident. It was evident before the season. It is more evident now that Jackson Arnold is not his guy. Even though they went and got Jackson Arnold, Deuce Knight is his guy. But I don't think Deuce Knight is ready.
Yeah, I agree with you on the quarterback change. I was going to add that, but that's a good point there. Dude, you don't, especially if he's locked in and he wants to stay at Auburn as a head football coach, you don't have time to develop with Jackson Arnold. You don't have time to lose with him. So if you don't think you have to make that change and maybe give Deuce Knight some reps now, because if Jackson Arnold ain't the guy, dude, you can't go 6-6 this year and then get, hey, Auburn fans, will you give me another year? It's not going to happen. I mean, they're going, and then if you fire Hugh Freeze, hey, you already set back. I mean, especially this day and age with NIL, pay the players, paying the coaching staff, paying buyouts. I mean, you cannot continue to fire head coaches, man.
Well, I'll just be honest with you, and then we'll transition to Ole Miss and LSU very quickly.
Gotcha.
I can't wait for the press conference where Hugh talks about, just give me another recruiting class. Like, he said that last year, and I try to, look, obviously I'm an Alabama fan, but I keep it objective on Auburn. Cam Coleman is one of the best receivers in the sport. Keldrick Falk, one of the best defensive players in the sport.
Bama boy,
Bama boy. I liked him coming out of high school. Okay, but I talked about this last year. Peyton Thorne got way too much of the blame for Auburn's struggles last year when a lot of it, Auburn would have been 8-4, 9-3 if Hugh Freeze just called an effective game and had any semblance of balance on offense. This isn't just a Jackson Arnold issue, even though, again, he's a limited quarterback and he's very much the same quarterback that he was at Oklahoma with better talent around him. So let's flip the page, Drew. We talked about an offensive disaster. Let's talk about an offensive explosion by the Ole Miss Rebels, man. Lane Kiffin, one of the best to do it. The best, in my opinion, top 2, top 3 offensive mind in college football. They put up 484 on this LSU defense that everybody told me was elite and everyone told me was the best defense in the country. Well, they still haven't solved their mobile quarterback issue. Trinidad Chambliss had a really, really good day, even though he struggled at times and I think got unsettled. He was unsettled early. Lane even said that. The way that Lane, I think, coached this game was masterful. I thought he did a few things that were unconventional for him. There was a 4th and 4 early in the game. Lane last year would have gone for it, but what did he do? He took points. I thought that was huge. And then at the end of the game, he had a chance to go win it. He went and won it. He went for it on 4th down. They busted the coverage to Daquan Wright, and they hit him and iced the game. I thought Ole Miss really, really impressed me, and their defense was actually very effective against LSU. LSU's offense is there's a problem. They can't run the ball, and they're putting way too much on
you something on the LSU's offense. I got when you flip it over to me, I got you a stat here.
Okay, Hanson. All right. One more final word on the LSU.
Go ahead.
And then I'll flip it to you. I want to hear the stat, but I think what Kiffin has. This is their second string quarterback who played in the FCS last year. And
yes, sir. Austin, this is not even his guy, man.
I know. And they put almost 500 on this defense, and they do it in a myriad of ways with the quarterback run game, with play action, with jet motion, jet sweep. Just really playing, doing a lot of eye candy with those linebackers to kind of get them out of place and then having creases and seams that they can exploit. And really, they should have scored. They had opportunities to score more points in this game, but they turned it over 1 or 2 times, especially one time when they were heading into the red zone. But a credit to them. And if I'm an LSU fan, yes, your defense is much improved, but your offense, Garrett Nussmeier I really like
He's
the kid.
regressed.
I think he's a competitive son of a gun, and he has moments of brilliance. But going into the year, on our preview show, I said LSU was the team that I thought was overhyped coming into the year. And I thought it was because Nussmeier, when he faced SEC competition last year, he was a different guy. He was a different guy, and you've seen the same struggles again this year. He has not taken the step that I think many people and many talent evaluators thought that he would going into the year. And, his struggles, along with a running game that is completely non-existent, that's just not a good combination right now for LSU.
No,
But,
not at
Drew,
all.
what'd you make of that game? And give me that stat that you were kind of teasing here.
I got you here. I just want to. I'm on 4% here, so I'm gonna have to go real quick
Okay,
and
yeah.
then find me a charger here. But hey, that Trinidad Chamberlain, that dude's a baller. And I just want to repeat what you said. Lane Kiffin, quarterback guru. It don't matter who he has taking snaps at quarterback. The dude is gonna be successful and put that guy in a successful situation there. I mean, it's impressive. Lane Kiffin is a. I mean, that dude's impressive there. But so that's what I want to say. Shout out to old Trinidad there. Dude's making a name for himself. But I was gonna tell you, Ole Miss has not given up fewer than 170 yards on the ground all season long. How many rushing yards do you think LSU had all game?
70.
59. They've given up 170 more rushing yards every single week, and you run for 59 yards. This is an LSU offense you're talking about. Leonard Fournette, I mean, Darius Guice. This isn't like LSU, man. And you going in, everybody wanted to give them all these roses, beating Clemson. Looking back, that's not a great win. So, I mean,
Either.
yeah. So, I mean, I'm serious, dude. So, this offense, if they don't figure it out, LSU may be in trouble. I mean, you're playing a defense that's giving up rushing yards week after week after week. You run for less than 60 yards on them, which they didn't have Caden Durham, but I'm serious,
I
man.
don't think
If
it would
they
have made
don't
a
figure this off,
difference.
I don't either. I don't either. But and I'll finish on this. That's a cool stat right there. But I'll finish on this after Whit Weeks' Lane Kiffin's daughter posted that picture of Whit Weeks. I knew this was a wrap. I knew this was a wrap. But
Take
that's
the
all I
over.
got on that, brother.
Take the over. Well,
Take the
I'll
over.
say this last thing, and then we can get out of here because we've been here
Okay.
an hour 15. I know you're low on battery, but
10-4, bro.
Brian Kelly got really upset being asked about the struggles on offense after the Florida game. And, he said, we can run the ball. Did you see that last run? I'm like, brother, you hit a 60-yard run in garbage time. The questions about your offensive struggles are valid, whether you like it or not, and
Yeah,
you can slam
that was an
the podium.
appropriate question. Yep.
And hopefully you don't put that reporter in a tower like he did another individual at one time. Like Brian Kelly, like, stop the grandstanding. It's a valid concern, and you guys have to fix it if you want to have any chance of championship contention going in for the rest of the year. Two quick more notes, and then we'll get out of here. Oregon, big win against Penn State in the whiteout. Very impressed with them. And Sam Pittman got the axe out of Arkansas. Bobby Petrino pulling some Game of Thrones type stuff, stepping into the limelight. We're back in 2009, baby. Hope he shows up to his first press conference in a neck brace and rides in on a motorcycle like old time's sake. But Drew, before we get out of here, man, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. We've had a ton of fun today. I mean, best weekend of college football so far. You got any final words before we get out of here, brother?
No, I appreciate you having me on. Big fan of the podcast, and dude, roll tide.
Roll tide. I like it, Drew. Well, thank you to each and every one of you that made it this far in the video. We couldn't thank you enough. We appreciate you. If you haven't already, like I said at the beginning, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 400. Leave us a like, hype this video, and leave us a comment on what your biggest takeaway was from Week 5 of college football, and specifically the Alabama versus Georgia game. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we will be back next week to recap Alabama, Vanderbilt, and so many other important matchups that are happening. Florida State and Miami is taking place, Texas and Florida. Can't wait to break it all down, and hopefully Graham will be back on next week. But Pigskin Cafe is going to be closed for now. But until next week, chew on that.